Good morning. And in my previous video talking about Inside Xbox from XO19 last week, I did mention that I wanted to talk some more about Project xCloud, and that's what I'm doing here. Kareem Chowdhury and Catherine Gluckstein came on and spoke in some detail about Project xCloud. Unfortunately, it was extremely painful to watch, and I can imagine that a lot of people didn't actually take in what was being said because of the way it was presented. And I actually said this in my previous video that I actually felt quite sorry for them because it got cringeworthy to the point where I could almost not watch it anymore. But I did, and in fact I sat through it twice. And now I've actually sat through it 3 times because I wanted to get the details clear. And as I say, there was a lot of detail. Following on from hearing about Google Stadia and the lack of features it's going to have at launch, it was interesting to hear Kareem Chowdhury start by listing all the features that are already in xCloud. We've got friends, we've got social networks, we've got save games, achievements, gaming history and progression, including your gamer score, and they're already integrated into xCloud. So that was an interesting one to hear and a real contrast to Google Stadia. And I can tell you now, as someone who's already spent some time with the preview, it does work. And it works as it should, at least for me. And if I play a game on my Xbox and or my PC, and then I move across to xCloud and start playing on xCloud, I can just pick up where I left off. And, you know, I can have my phone there and I can go and play Gears of War and it'll be the same save game. And any achievements I make while I'm playing on my phone will be carried on onto my Xbox, my PC, wherever I might play. It's completely seamless and frankly, it works like a charm. And that in and of itself makes the service, makes Project xCloud superior at this stage to Stadia. Far superior to Stadia. And let's not forget, as I've already said, this is only a preview. And that makes their next announcement even more interesting. As of now, there are 50 games or more to play on the service. I haven't actually counted them, but it's around 50 games. And that's, well, it's just a massive increase over the, was it 4, 5 we previously had access to? And it's also considerably more than the launch lineup from Google, which, let's be honest, is looking rather more than a little anemic. Google, I honestly don't know what Google are playing at this stage. But if we get back to Stadia, it only gets more interesting. From 2020, that's when it launches, any game you own digitally will be available for you to play via xCloud. And any future games purchased digitally will also be made available to the service. I don't know whether this applies to backwards compatible titles, but it looks extremely likely that it will be, as xCloud is basically running from an Xbox on a server. So, as Chowdhury puts it, there's no additional development required. So any backwards compatible games that run on an Xbox should run on xCloud. And it'd be interesting to see if that's actually going to be the case. And as I say, I do think that will be the case. And this means that anyone signing up to xCloud who already has an Xbox will have full access to their entire digital game collection on Xbox hardware, their phone, their tablet, and so on. You know, including the PC, because they also announced that it's going to be coming to PC. So if you have a low-end PC or a laptop, you'll get access to a large library of games there too. You know, including some of the PC exclusives, such as, I believe, Age of Empires. Now, I don't know if that's coming to Xbox. If anyone knows if it's coming to Xbox, let me know. Don't see any reason why not now. We've got keyboard support on the Xbox, so even if you can't use it with a controller, it should come. But anyway, that's an aside. You can either purchase your games and they will be available on xCloud, or you can get them through Game Pass, Game Pass PC or Game Pass Ultimate. And talking about Game Pass, That's where it gets really interesting. And I've said several times in several videos that I wanted Xbox to integrate xCloud into Game Pass because I thought that that would be a perfect fit. And that's exactly what they're going to do, which surprises the hell out of me because this is Microsoft and who would think that they would actually do the thing that was bloody obvious? But in this case, they have. So basically, as of next year, if you sign up to Game Pass, you'll also have access to xCloud. And that's perhaps the most important announcement yet regarding the service because it means you can get access to a huge library of games for one simple monthly fee with no extra cost. Unless, of course, you factor in in-app purchases, but I'll rant about that another time. Obviously, this isn't necessarily going to appeal to people who prefer to own their games either physically on physical media or who want to buy their games digitally, but it's a great value proposition for everyone else. After all, Game Pass is already a bloody good deal, especially if you get it via some of the offers that are going around out there. And adding xCloud into the mix, well, that just makes it better value. And it has the added benefit for Microsoft of making xCloud attractive just by the fact that you don't actually have to think about it. Get a Game Pass subscription and you already have access to xCloud. And for me, even if I wasn't interested in it from a tech standpoint, I might want to try it out just to see. And that's the point here. Microsoft has removed just about all the barriers to entry, or at least they will have once it comes out of preview. And that is a barrier at the moment because not everyone can get on the preview, but that's a small issue and one that will probably be less of an issue as time goes on. And Microsoft wants to add more people to the service because more people, more feedback, the more they can get on and know how well it's working. And that will make it more viable once they release it properly. And I'd urge anyone who has an Android phone and a Bluetooth-capable Xbox controller to sign up to xCloud. It's a no-brainer. It's free, and you'll have access to the games even if you don't own them, for now at least. What's not to like? Ultimately, any streaming service will live and die on the quality of the streaming itself. And all these services have a lot to prove, especially given the reality of data caps and spotty coverage. For now, though, when I look at Stadia and xCloud, I can't help but think that Stadia has got an uphill struggle on its hands. The reality here is that it launches on the 19th of November. That's in 2 days as I'm recording this? For £120. And okay, look, I know you get some hardware with that. But it has a sparse lineup of games, and most of the core features, such as gamerscore and stuff like that, are only notable by their absence. Not to mention that all the games bar Destiny 2 require you to purchase them on top of the 120 quid you've already spent. And look, I know it's going to have a free option next year, but you'll still have to buy those games. And if you contrast that with xCloud, which already has 50 games available to anyone who signs up for free, with many more games on the way, well, just look at it. Look at the difference between the two. A preview from Microsoft is relatively feature-rich when compared to Stadia, which is going to cost you £120. Which one would you go for? For once, I actually think that Microsoft have played a blinder here. Giving people access to all the games they already own, plus integrating the service into Game Pass, is exactly what I was hoping they would do. And it puts them square in the driving seat as regards game streaming. And look, this is Microsoft and they could still mess it up royally. But for the first time in a while, well, I'm actually excited for the future of Xbox. It's not the future I'd choose, if I'm being honest, because I prefer to own my games. But, well, we have to deal with the reality. And unlike Stadia, which is forcing streaming down your throat with no option to have games any other way if you subscribe to that particular platform, with Xbox, you can actually choose to ignore their streaming option altogether if you really want to. Well, for now at least. Streaming is going to be the future of gaming. But for me, I think it's a long way off. And what's heartwarming here is that Microsoft seem to feel the same way. And for now, they're only offering streaming as an added extra. And as I say, that'll no doubt change as the landscape changes and ISPs, possibly in the far-flung future, start to see the benefits of this kind of market. But for now, I think Microsoft are just being sensible. And it's not often that I say that about Microsoft, believe me. I honestly do think that Microsoft have played this the right way. And I think Stadia's going to struggle, as I've already said. But we'll see, won't we? And you guys might think I'm completely wrong. You might think that Stadia's going to go from strength to strength and everyone's going to love it and Microsoft are going to sink without trace and leave the gaming market. Yeah, because that's going to happen. You might think that Nintendo are going to come along and dominate streaming. Who knows? It's Nintendo. They could do something ridiculous like that. We never know what we're going to get from Nintendo. For now, though, I really do think that Microsoft are in the driving seat here, and I think Stadia's going to struggle. Stadia's got a lot of money behind it. It's got Google behind it, so it could do okay. But we all know what Google are like, and at the first sign of failure, they may well pull the plug. And that's not going to help them either. Because I'm certainly not going to sign up for something and spend a lot of money on games when I think that they might not be there in 2 years' time. Whereas with Microsoft, I do feel that they're going to be there in 2 years' time and 5 years' time and 10 years' time in one way or another. But as I say, that's what I think. You could disagree. And let me know in the comments if you do. And if you like this one, give me a thumbs up and all the usual stuff. And we can hash it out. But for now, I'm going to go and grab myself a cup of tea because my voice, I don't know if you can hear it, my voice is starting to go because I've been at this one for a while. So, yeah, I'll speak to you in the next one. Bye.